Seafood paella and gazpacho. This is what I made today as a private chef. My client is having guests tonight and requested seafood paella for their main and gazpacho to start. So I jumped on getting my seafood all cleaned up and ready to go. I placed shrimps and scallops on paper towels to dry and cover them with more paper towels. The drier, the better. I scrubbed down these clams, and for the mussels, I scrub them and try to pop off any barnacles and pull out the beards. If I go to a restaurant and I get some bearded ass mussels, I literally feel sick. So please clean your shellfish. For the gazpacho, I blended up some heirloom tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, cucumbers, red onions, bell peppers, garlic, a bit of sourdough bread, and blend. While that's going, I add some olive oil and sherry vinegar for acidity and to brighten it up. The tomatoes weren't particularly sweet since it is still February. February? Why can't I say it? Then I added kosher salt and sugar. I throw that into a container and put it into the freezer. Gazpacho should be served absolutely ice cold. I needed to make a stock for the paella, so I sauteed together some onions, garlic, and the shrimp shells that I had in the freezer just for this occasion. Once the shells get toasted, I add chicken stock and let that simmer for about an hour. I feel like after that, you don't gain any more flavor. I wanted to make some croutons for the gazpacho, so I cubed them up, tossed in olive oil and salt, and baked until toasted, but not so toasted that they tear up your mouth. I also wanted to brunoise some cucumbers for garnish alongside the croutons. For blended soups, it's always nice to have a little bit of texture. Then I strained the stock, and in a larger pot, I toast some saffron in a little olive oil and add some sofrito that I made the day before. This was just onions, garlic, tomato that I cooked down for a few hours in olive oil. Normally, I would also add bell pepper, but one of my clients can't have any peppers, so this isn't the most traditional paella, but it'll still be pretty damn delicious. Then I add all my shellfish, add a bunch of white wine, and I let that steam. I like to pull out the shellfish as they open so that they don't overcook. This obviously isn't the traditional way of doing paella, but my client loves a lot of shellfish and there's no way I can cook all of this in the paella pan without some overcooking and others not cooking at all. I take the juices of the shellfish, mix with the white wine and saffron, and combine with the shrimp stock that I made earlier. I also have to cook it over a grill, so it isn't as consistent as I would like, but we do what we gotta do. In my paella pan, I add a bit of olive oil, some more of the sofrito, and add smoked paprika. Bloom the paprika in the oil and add my bomba rice. I mix to combine and add our fortified shellfish and saffron stock. It got kind of crazy, so I couldn't record much, but at the halfway point, I added the shrimps and scallops and let the rice and seafood slowly cook without agitating the rice. And once the guests arrive, I plate the gazpacho and garnish with our sourdough croutons, diced cucumbers, olive oil, and chives. Then for the mains, I give everyone a healthy amount of seafood, the paella rice, and a little dollop of the sofrito and a lemon wedge. They were very, very happy. A successful dinner.